Welcome back to Josh Uncut. Today we're cutting to how we made £500,000 in the last 3 months. So I'm just on the way into the office just now. I'll just give you guys a quick backstory. I started off cutting grass when I was 10 years old and I was charged pennies in today's money to maintain gardens as a 10-year-old boy. I'm now 27 and we've got 24 members of staff, 6 teams, and we run quite a big operation. Over the years we've just sort of grown and grown as the business has got bigger and we've got more customers. If you're wanting to grow your business and you're just thinking about starting off a business, or you're sitting in your bedroom and you're sitting planning it, or you're a freelancer and you want to take your operation to the next step, then this video is for you. Tune in, there'll be some very useful contents, and if you've got any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. One of the most important things, and I've said it in multiple videos now, is having that vision and being able to see where you want to go. As humans, we become what we think about most of the time. Once you understand that, it's very powerful in charging you in the right direction. For us, it's very important to have clarity in the vision, and I share that vision with the team of where we want to get to, and I set goals for the team to hit, and I set rewards what happens when we hit those goals. And that way our whole team, we've got a culture where everybody knows what direction we're going and we're aiming for that. There's old analogy why Japanese car companies bet the American car companies. Japanese car companies had one person guiding the rowing boat and 10 people rowing. In America, 10 people guiding the boat and 1 person rowing. You need one person to have the clarity of the vision, share that with the team, to breed the culture, to get the team going the direction it needs to go. So whatever stage you're at in your entrepreneurship journey, it doesn't matter how small or how big they are, all what matters is your clarity and your consistency in goal setting. So we've just arrived at sunny Shedville. Head into the office and see what's happening. This year we're doing 500k in the last 3 months. Last year it was maybe half that target, so we've came a long year, but after last year we've got a successful year. I thought, go hard or go home, let's double it. Quite an ambitious target at the time, but also I thought, well, I'm sure it's possible. It was possible to get past £1 million, which is like 100k a month. Now it's like 180k a month. It's definitely a push target and the team are really excited, and I'm really excited about doing it, currently achieving it. But the first step in doing that is to actually set the goal and set the target, because you can't hit a target you can't see. You need to stay about quiet here because the team are busy working, but this is a quick summary of our goal for the year and how we can quickly visualise it. The whole team can be on board. One of the main things that has allowed us to increase our sales is product range and service range. So if you're just out there cutting grass and you're like, oh, how can I do that? There's only so much grass you can cut. Just think of the whole ecosystem that you do. So, you know, we started off with grass cutting, then that quickly transpired into hedges and removing hedges. And then what happens when you remove the hedge? Well, customer wants a fence, so the fence then becomes the next thing, and then you start doing landscaping, and from the landscaping you're doing sheds after that, sheds and summer houses, and then you're back off the fencing. What else is in the garden? You can maybe do the trees. So then we started up a tree surgery arm to the business. Cutting down trees, we could sell Christmas trees. So then we're selling Christmas trees. This year we aim to do over 100k in Christmas tree sales. Last year we've done 60k. You've got all the waste from the trees that you need to deal with. So now we've got a small waste management side. It's nothing too big, but it's still generating £20,000-30,000 of just collecting waste for customers. So then we set up waste collections. So customers maybe don't want us to do the garden, but we do waste collections, and then that goes back into grass. So you can get a full ecosystem of different jobs. What is your ecosystem? I challenge you to write that down now. Get the graph out and just draw out what you're doing. For example, you could be a baker and you could be baking bread in the morning. What else can bakers bake? They could bake or fry, or whatever you do, make donuts. And if you make donuts, then you could be selling coffee. Right? If you're selling coffee, you could be hosting a book club to get your customers in. And then before you know it, you're just piecing together your whole ecosystem, and you went from just one service to now 4 or 5 different services. And if you've got a bike shop selling bikes, and you know what else goes with bikes? You need to fit the bikes on somebody. What else goes with fitting bikes? Oh, you need to buy shoes. You can get a big massive shoe brand in and sell that. Then you've got all these cyclists in the shop, so you might as well start a cycle club. Boom, now you've got a club, you've got members, you can sell more stuff to your members. All your members come in on a Saturday, let's sell them coffee. Before you know it, you went from just selling a couple bikes to having a whole ecosystem and having those wide range of services. Once you've got good at one service, you can expand it out. And what people often do is they don't get good at one and they just expand all these services out and they have a terrible business. Now that happened to me many years ago. We sort of jumped through these hoops a bit too fast and we went from gardening to landscaping and then back down to gardening because it all sort of went wrong. So, you need to get really good at one and then expand. We made the mistake of getting not very good at one, expanding, being bad at two, tore it back down to then rebuild it. So don't be afraid to tear it down if it's not going well. Us business owners are like rocks being thrown up in the air. We gain nothing by going up and lose nothing by coming back down. And it's important to not let your ego overtake your entrepreneurship journey. And once the business starts going well and it starts going like gangbusters and you're starting to make some decent profit numbers, it's quite easy to start building your ego instead of building your business. That's probably the biggest one where people trip up. I waited 10 years before I actually bought myself my first car. So I'd been trading for 10 years before I really rewarded myself in terms of a luxury, if you like. Before that, I just drove the vans or I cycled around town. As you're building your business, you will be the biggest problem in it. What you need to do instead, use your profits to build your business. Hire that PA, hire that office manager, hire that really good technician that you don't think you can afford. Reinvest to grow a business. I mean, look around here. We've spent over £100,000 on this yard to get how we want it to be, but it's now allowed us to double our sales. I could have quite easily stayed at our last yard that was like not even this size here. We would have still been profitable, but we wouldn't be able to get to this stage. We didn't have any storage for sheds, any space for the waste. We had 3 parking spaces, so we would never have got to that stage, but we had to spend money to get to that stage. And if you want to go on that journey, then this is what you need to do. So take a look in the mindset mirror and check that you're building your business and not your ego. So the next step that we've done which allowed us to do that is getting customers. I hear too many business owners saying, oh, we don't need to advertise because we're busy enough. What are you doing? What do you mean you don't need to advertise? McDonald's, how much do they advertise? Everybody knows about McDonald's. It's just crazy. If you want to build a business, you have to market it. And getting customers should be the business owners, entrepreneurs, single sole focus, getting big customers, getting cash in through the books, generating revenue for the business. I've done multiple videos about how to get customers, so I'll not go into that in this video, but that should be the #1 job that you have to do. Without any customers, you've not got a business. How did we actually do it? Well, the biggest thing we did was turning customers into fans. So everybody that came from last year, over half of them have used us again. Sticky customers, and they've not just used us again once, so transaction with us 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year. We get the hedge cut twice a year, we get the garden landscape time after time again. We don't forget about who the worst thing you can happen to you as a business. Say we done some landscaping, built a fence for this customer, and then 5 years down the line we're like, oh, who's that company that built the fence? ADS, and they phone somebody else because you've not kept in touch with them. It's your job as a business to constantly be in touch with that customer, so when they're ready to buy again, they're remembering who you are and not somebody else. So whatever it is you're doing, don't let people forget who you are. You are the best in what you do, and that's why we're going to use you. The most important thing is have a vision, share the vision, write it down, review it, make sure you've got a good culture, have a wide range of products and services so you've got a whole ecosystem to sell to your customers, and turn those customers into fans, and you will be successful. My goals for the rest of the year and beyond, this year our target's 2.2 million. Last year our target was 1.1, we smashed that, done 1.2, trying to generate an extra £1 million worth of revenue. Then after that, we'll double it again, because why not just challenge yourself and see how far you can go. I bet you if you write it down and make it a goal, make it happen. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. Please like and subscribe. Any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. See you next week.